Men, and of course, I use the term loosely. Hey, in that crate is an engine. It was started on the road to rebuild by the owner. He had some work done by another shop who, for the time being, will remain nameless. He had some work started by another shop, and then he read reviews about the other shop on the internet, of course, and became concerned. Well, he became concerned that there was reason to be concerned. I myself had some work done by this same shop years ago, and it was really a bad experience. So I'm curious as to how the work they did on this guy's engine would stack up. And the work they did on it was assembling through the flywheels. So I'm going to crack this crate open, dig the flywheels out of it, put them on my truing stand, and check out the rod, rollers, the run out, etc., and see how they did. Should be interesting. So here's the deal on these. They're out of that crate. The owner had started a rebuild process and had these flywheels rebuilt and trued by another shop who also has a YouTube presence. After he sent the flywheels off, he read some reviews of the guy. You should read the reviews before you send your parser, I guess is the moral of the story. But anyway, he read the reviews. He didn't like what he read, and he decided to send it all to me to double check everything and put it together. So I took the flywheels out of the crate, and these are supposedly rebuilt. That doesn't feel too bad. That doesn't feel too bad. It might be okay. But anyway, I put them on my truing stand, and bear in mind that when I get a set of flywheels out of an engine, typically the in-service run-out is about 3 to 5 thou. Watch the needle on these. Plus 12, minus 8. Plus 12, minus 8. These flywheels have 20 thousandths of an inch of run-out on them. Now, I'm not going to say which shop it was. If, however, you wanted to hazard a guess in the comments, I'll tell you which shops it is not. So I'm not going to throw the guy's name out there and just badmouth him. You never know. There could be an excuse for this. And, you guys have seen me true flywheels, and my goal is less than 1 thou. The book limit on them at the pinion is 2 thou. I like to try to get less than 1 thou. And clearly, 20 thousandths is way, 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 way out of the question. But anyway, we're going to take a little bit more of a look at these. Obviously, now they've got to come apart. I've got to check all the shafts, make sure they're straight, and start over again. When I assemble these for the first time, I'll lay them on top of each other, and I'll use a straight edge just to get them, in basic alignment. And I expect the two edges to line up with each other. Look at this one. Yeah, a gap. That's probably at least 1/16 of an inch. Here's the other side, but we'll just set this on there. Top is pretty good. Big gap on the bottom. So the guy who put this together didn't even bother to do the rudimentary step of making sure they were basically lined up when he tightened the nut on the crank pin. This is shoddy, shoddy, shoddy work. If you just line the two wheels up with the straight edge, torque everything up, you're probably going to be within 4 or 5 thousandths from the get-go. Just horrible. Anyway, let's continue the disassembly. Okay, these are the rods out of the flywheels that I just had sitting there. And these are supposedly brand new, rebuilt, well, not brand new, but rebuilt, never been run, okay? You see how shiny this is? This race has never been lapped. The owner told me the reason he was having all this done is because the rod bearings had failed and they were totally crunched up. So either this isn't the same set of rods that started out in the engine with new races pressed in, or this is a set of rods the guy had laying around and he just put them in there. Which I would do maybe, but certainly I would have lapped and made all of these surfaces, truly round and fitted together. When I took these apart, I could hear some grinding, and look at this. There's shit down inside here. There's dirt and crud still on these things. So these were pulled out of one engine and put in another engine, or pulled out of one set of flywheels and put in another set of flywheels. The male rod, the same way. This shiny surface here, this has not been lapped. Anyway, we're going to lap these and refit the bearings on them. And this is, of course, the flywheel that came out of there. Look at this shit that's still in here. These, I don't even think these have been run through a parts washer. Just crud. Okay, this flywheel was supposedly, rebuilt with these rods and everything else. Look at the crud. Look at the crud. Big gobs of shit. This was not even run through a parts washer. How would you explain that? And, just for the record, I do not always sandblast the flywheels, and I'm not going to sandblast these. They will be run through the parts washer. They will be carefully cleaned out. They will be clean. I sandblast the ones that are rusty, but, this doesn't need sandblasting, but certainly it needs to have had all the schmutz wiped away. Here's a good look at the chunks in the crankcase. If there's that much metal in there that the crank pin and the rod races were completely toasted. So obviously this crank pin, although not new, is not original to this engine. And the rods, although not new, are not original to this engine. They would have shown far more damage if they were. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on video or not, but look at this. You get an air hose and you blow in one end. The pinion shaft is hollow. It's connected to a drill passageway in the flywheel. And oil is supposed to come out of the 3 holes in a crank pin. Nothing is coming out. What the fuck? So something is not correct inside here. It's either plugged up with shit, or there are different crank pins floating around out there. The oil hole in the crank pin might not align with the oil hole in the flywheel. Like I said, I decided I was going to take these apart anyway because obviously the guy who previously worked on them can't be trusted to have done anything correctly. So let's pop these loose and see what secrets lie within. Ooh, that might be the title of this video. Secrets that lie within. One crank pin, Woodruff key intact.
Right there is the oil transfer hole. When I blow in the end of the pinion shaft, air should come out there. The air is coming out so strong, it's blowing my face. So why then is there no air coming out of these three holes? You know, I'm not making any of this up. This is as I found it. Okay, here is the oil transfer hole on a crank pin. And you see right here this very faint outline. I've got the sneaking suspicion that this faint outline is a shadow left by this hole right here. This guy has got the wrong crank pin installed in this set of flywheels. This is an 84, and I think it was 81 Harley changed the tapers. They went to what they call the commonized taper. And when they did that, they moved these oil transfer holes around. Okay, this is the flywheel we just took apart. I just took apart. Here is the keyway on the pinion side, and here, of course, is the oil hole. And you could see that the oil hole is almost exactly 90 degrees to the pinion shaft. So this is the later style, and that's where the hole is. If you look at the crank pin, the keyway is right here, of course. 90 degrees to the keyway is going to be right in this area. So this hole is actually more in the neighborhood of 110 or 120 degrees from the keyway. This is the wrong pin. The previous assembler installed the wrong crank pin. The oil passageway to the rods was blocked. This engine would have destroyed itself, I would suspect, in a matter of minutes, with no oil to the rod bearings. Not to mention that these things were out of true by 20 plus thousandths. This engine wouldn't have lasted. Wouldn't have lasted very long at all. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable the crap some people put out. And I'm going to try, I'm not going to mention a guy's name. You know, if you had any ideas who it might be in the comments, what I will do is I'll tell you who it isn't, okay? And leave it to you guys to figure it out. Shoddy work. Just shoddy. Unbelievable. So let's wrap this up. Shafts out of true by 20 thousandths of an inch or more. Flywheel edges out of alignment by a 1/16 of an inch. Number 3. Wrong crank pin installed. Number 4. Rod races not lapped. And number 5. Parts not even cleaned. I'm going to pull the pinion shaft out and take a look at it. The pinion shaft was straight. I had the assembled flywheel with the pinion shaft on my lathe. The run out was a couple of 10 thousandths. It was pretty good. But we got a lot of rust over here. A couple other things I wanted to mention. When I saw how much metal was in the bottom of the crankcase, some of that metal must have gone through the sprocket shaft bearing and the pinion shaft bearing. So he's going to get a new sprocket shaft bearing, going to get a new pinion shaft on account of this rust, going to get a new pinion shaft bearing, going to get the rods lapped, going to get new rod rollers, and I think that'll do it for the flywheel part of this engine. Anyway, when it comes time to put the flywheels back together again, I'll bring you back, I'll show you the process, and I'll show you where I end up. In the meantime, thank you all ever so much for watching, and I am out of here. Just a quick reminder, you can help support and grow this channel, first of all and most importantly, by hitting that subscribe button. So if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to do a little more, join me on Patreon. Links down below. So go ahead and join me on Patreon if you feel so inclined. And finally, coffee cups, stickers, and gas tank covers are available. This is a new design coffee cup. I like the old ones, but I like these new ones even better. Links will be provided in the description down below. Get yourself some. And thank you all ever so much for watching these videos. I really appreciate it. Bye.